to do a little video for people that were interested. It's just me with a light, so I apologize if there's a lot of glare. I thought this might be an easier way to show some of the features. First of all, the cape is actually held on by the chain. There's a little, I don't know what you call this piece, but I'm gonna put grommets on the cape. I'm gonna hem it and put grommets on it. So I have a little piece that actually fits inside. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway. That holds the chain. And the cape is actually huge. It's like a whole nother craft video on how to make this cape, but needs to be hemmed up, but it looks pretty cool because of the size. I made one that was much smaller, and it looks silly. So one of the features I really wanted was arms that are posable. Can turn everything, can reconfigure how the elbow pieces go, and you can have them be down at a side. You can also, if you want to give them an elbow like that, you can. Scooch this in. Hopefully you can see a little bit better this way. The hand, all the fingers are fully articulated. And the reason I did that was because I really wanted to be able to do a couple different poses. You can give them a real fist if you want. If you want to do the like hand at the side kind of pose. My favorite one is the so it's a little ball joint. But my favorite pose is the force choke type pose. I'm not gonna fully pose it up right now, but anyway, that's what it was like before. Like he's choking one of his generals or something. This hand is also articulated. I ran out of ball joints, so these two middle fingers are just straight bends. I did find one more, but actually, since it just holds the lightsaber, it works just fine. The ball joint really helps a lot with the thumb. As you can see, when I tried other things, it didn't work, but this thumb really wraps around. And actually, the pinky and the thumb are actually supporting most of the movement. The weight of the lightsaber is actually just came off all together. The weight of the lightsaber is actually being held on a little twisty piece right on here, which is also part of the structure of the hand. But so you can hold it without the fingers. The fingers do actually hold the position of it. When I tried other finger types, the lightsaber would still kind of wobble around quite a bit. Some of these joints still a little weak. I mean, there's a lot of weight here. These little ball joints on the wrist. If I put it up like this, it's floppy. So still playing with that. It might just be that this ball joint itself kind of loosened up. The arm ones work pretty well, but if I put it straight out, it doesn't want to stay up. But, you can do some pretty cool poses. The arms actually, when I was building it, they come off easily, which was pretty nice because otherwise they kind of flop around, get in the way. This plate right here was one of the first things I did, and I don't know if you can quite tell, but there's an angle. Actually, I am gonna take off the arm. So there's an angle to this, and so there is pieces here. Take off both arms. So I made these plates for the side. That's what creates the sides. Same thing on the back. Actually, that one's kind of locked in by the belt. But there's these Technic pieces here that provide the structure, and the slant right here is achieved by a hinge, which I don't know if you can see, but there's little hinges in here. So it's slanting backwards. This chest piece is actually mounted to a piece internal. So chest piece here, it's perpendicular, but this piece, or the stomach piece is perpendicular, but this piece is angled. The belt actually does come off. It's attached right here, little pieces. It's hinged, so it can twist out and come off. So you can easily get it. Actually, I have so much light in my face for the video that it's kind of hard to see. I don't know if I can get that off right now. But anyway, the belt does come off. Yeah, there it is. Some of these pieces are obviously, I mean, this is not, it's not a playable set. I wouldn't market this to kids because there are a lot of little bits that, you know, stability is questionable, especially as I built the thing. You know, I'm loosening pieces up as I go. Actually, I can probably get this back piece off now. Yeah, there's the back piece. Now, the back I actually made solid because there is a Technic piece that runs back in here, but it just wasn't quite stable enough. The whole thing kept shifting forward. And when I was trying to get it on legs, it added a lot of weight. It would topple. So those are actually pretty easy to take off. The legs themselves are actually kind of a whole separate piece. Here, I'm going to take off. So there's a piece here. This is just decorative. There's a piece here that is covering up this little bit. This is kind of finagled because, I don't know if you can see, but the legs are actually pointing out. So I had to build a structure to make it do that. I haven't actually taken it off since I put this on that way. I might edit this part out of the video if things go wrong. There we go. So there's quite a bit of structure in here, actually. There's a pole running up through the middle, which you can kind of see inside of there. Comes up through here. That actually attaches to this. This took me quite a while to figure out, but by attaching this, you can see this is at two different angles. So this piece mounts to the underside here. And that's what this Technic piece is locked onto. And this is important because otherwise it's like the safety catch. If this piece, top part, which is pretty heavy, comes off the bottom, this catches it and just kind of dangles, and I can grab it. But this piece is mounted to this side, which is at a different angle. And because this turns, it allows me to line it up with this top piece. So it's mounted to this side, but it's oriented to this side. And that way the connection is pretty uniform across. And then the rod feeds in through here. Probably can't show you that, but there's Technic parts in here that are angled that the rod fits in through. And then inside of here, I mean, mostly the legs are supported by these pieces with the holes in them. I don't know the name of them. I don't know if they're Technic pieces, but that's the structure of the leg. Ties directly into the feet. The feet actually have a number of pegs. You can see here, 1, 2, 2 of the double long, this style peg, running through each foot, through the 1, 2 that run all the way down. They kind of overlap here. I didn't have ones long enough, so I had to stick a couple together, but they run all the way down to the feet, and then those are probably the main thing that is holding this entire thing up is the ankles right here. Before I tried one and there was too much movement, it bent, swayed. These are pretty solid. I probably could put a lot more weight on here as long as it was centered over the middle here. I had made the legs the height that I thought they should be based on the size of the torso. But I'm actually thinking they could be taller even. I don't know. It's probably right. If you take the cod piece away, it's probably a good height. Anyway, yeah. The legs don't have any movement. I tried to add movement, but it was too wobbly. It just made the whole thing prone to fall over. Every time I tried different connections, I tried the ball joints, these big stiff ones, just collapsed under the weight. I tried these ratcheted kind, collapsed under the weight. I tried various pieces that move, and they all collapsed under the weight, so I decided to just go solid. And I think that's it. Most of the details. There's a close-up of the torso, cod piece, important feature. Again, there's the internals for those who care. I don't know if you can really see that. It's hard to take it in. It's obviously smooth pieces on top to help with that transition because I can't have a connection point between the piece that goes at this angle and the other angle. So that's my only real connection point between the two other than the safety catch right there. My favorite part, Darth Vader's butt. I had to do something. I mean, it's behind the cape, but I figured he deserved some kind of butt. So there's his tush. That's that. Thanks.